here is one more piece of information that will help you explain even more of what is happening in the market. And I'm talking about the long candle tail. Now, most of you, if you have been trading before, probably seen hundreds of these, but never thought anything of them. However, they carry a lot of intrinsic information. When I say intrinsic, let me explain this just in case if you don't know what intrinsic means. Intrinsic value and having an intrinsic value, meaning that it's not empty. There is some important information in it that must be read correctly. So it is like a box, and there is something in the box. So the box might either be just an empty box, or there can be an intrinsic value inside. So there is something inside of it, intrinsic, empirical value, whatever I call it the intrinsic value. So that's just in case. Now let's move to the screen and I will show you exactly the type of candle that I'm talking about. Now in this chart here we can see quite a few nice looking candles with nice bodies. Everything looks just fine as usual, but there is one candle that stands out, and this is this candle. Let me mark it to the best of my ability. Here, this is the candle with a long tail that I am talking about. And this candle actually symbolizes one important market detail. And it happened for a reason, and this candle is telling me a lot. Now, so what does a long tail mean? And before we jump into the details, I want to say that these candles, they happen not just in daily, they happen in any time frame, and sometimes they even happen in 1 minute chart. And these kinds of candles carry a lot of useful information. So a long tail. A long tail and a small body, so like a cross, as you can see in the chart right here, it is a big market order of a bigger player. So the market order means it's somehow a V formation in some really small time frame. If this is daily, then probably in the 5 minute chart was a really powerful V formation, and it was created by a market order, really large one, of a big player. And this big player did it for a reason. These long tail candles are created by larger players, and write this down word for word. The long tail candles are created by large players to test and see where the stops are of other traders or other companies, or basically their competition. This big player is perhaps planning something, and he needs to know where the stops of other players and traders are to find a place where he might face resistance. And this tail was created by a big player, this precise example that I'm showing you right now, to test if there is going to be a lot of resistance of going down, as we can see. And perhaps, as we can see of what happened after, he, she, or it did not find a lot of resistance, and therefore started doing whatever he or she or it wanted to do. So the big player tested whether there are any stops in the way, if it is a good idea to try and push the market downwards. So he probably gathered a short position in a small, really small consolidation right here. Or, well, this is only speculation, all right? I'm not going to be talking too much here. Whatever the reason, whatever his reason was, he wanted to move the market down and see if the market will face a lot of resistance of going down. So he threw this market order to simply find out where the stops are. And this is a very vivid and very easy to see detail, and have it in mind when later on you will see developments in smaller time frames. And that's a fascinating thing to watch when you can actually see what somebody else is doing and touching the waters pretty much. So a long tail is pretty much coming to the lake and touching the water, saying, is it good? Is it too cold? Is it too hot? And the same thing is a long tail. And this is one more piece of information that is very simple to use, and you should make a note of it and add it to your belt of trading knowledge and use it in your everyday trading later when you'll be analyzing the market and trying to explain of what has been happening and what might happen and what is going on, and is there a big player involved. And when you see a candle like this, there is a huge player involved, and especially if you see one in a daily chart, it can carry a lot of information. So there is no coincidence, and there is a reason for this kind of a candle, just like the V formation, the U formation, and many other things that happen in the market, the key levels. There are reasons for all of these things, and they are no coincidences, and they are only based on facts. Right, this lesson is coming to an end. Don't forget about the test as always, and enjoy your homework. There is finally a homework in this lesson. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson.